What if everything we know about human history is just the last chapter of an ancient, endless book? What if before the first pyramids, before the first fire, before the first human even walked upright, there were other civilizations? Civilizations that mastered science, built cities, conquered nature, and then vanished, erased by the unforgiving hand of time. This isn't just myth. This is the riddle of Earth before humanity. We've been told human civilization began around 10,000 years ago, that history starts with Mesopotamia, Sumer, and Egypt. But what if that's just the reset button? What if we're the survivors of a cycle, one that's happened many times before? Let's rewind the clock, not a few millennia, but millions of years, the hidden history. 4.5 billion years ago, Earth formed from dust and chaos. Volcanoes raged, oceans boiled, lightning struck endlessly, and from that raw energy, life began. But life didn't just appear once. Evolution is a story of rise and fall, creation and extinction. Species come and go, but what if intelligence also comes and goes? What if before us, there were others who reached consciousness, intelligence, technology, and disappeared without a trace? It sounds impossible. Until you remember that time on Earth is so vast, even mountains have lifespans. An entire civilization could rise, build, vanish, and be erased, their cities ground to dust, their artifacts melted, their bones turned to stone. And after a few million years, the planet would look as if they never existed. This idea isn't fantasy. It's called the Silurian Hypothesis, proposed by NASA scientists Gavin Schmidt and Adam Frank in 2018. They asked, if an industrial civilization had existed on Earth millions of years ago, would we find any evidence? Their answer, almost none. The geological record renews itself every few million years. Continents drift. Oceans consume coastlines. Erosion destroys even the grandest structures. After 100 million years, not even the pyramids would survive. So if something intelligent existed before us, we'd never know. But what if there are clues? In South Africa, miners discovered perfectly round metallic spheres, small, grooved, and impossibly uniform, embedded in rock that dates back 3 billion years. Scientists call them Clark-Storp spheres. Some say they're natural formations. Others argue their precision suggests intelligent design, something that shouldn't exist in such ancient rock. In Russia, in the Ural Mountains, tiny metallic coils made of tungsten and molybdenum were discovered, microscopic components, perfectly engineered. They were found in sediments dated over 300,000 years old. Too old for humans. Too complex for nature. A modern-looking hammer encased in 100-million-year-old rock. How does that happen? Archaeologists dismiss these as geological oddities. But to those who question the official timeline, they are fingerprints of forgotten worlds. Now, look beyond science, into myth, legend, and ancient memory. Across every culture on Earth, there are stories of lost civilizations, beings who came before us. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, who descended from the sky and taught humankind knowledge, agriculture, mathematics, and astronomy. The Dogon tribe of Mali told of the Nomo, amphibious beings from the star Sirius who came to Earth to teach wisdom. The Hopi people speak of previous worlds destroyed by fire and flood, and that we are living in the fourth world. Hindu texts describe the yugas, great cycles of time where civilizations rise to enlightenment and fall into darkness, only to begin again. And what about the fabled Atlantis? Plato wrote of an advanced island nation with technology beyond imagination, destroyed overnight by a great flood. He said it happened 9,000 years before his time. Is it coincidence that cultures across continents, with no contact, all speak of advanced beings who ruled before humankind? Or are they remembering the same event? The same civilization? Through different names? Now let's dive, literally, beneath the oceans. The Earth's surface is mostly ocean, and under those waters may lie the answers to our oldest questions. Off the coast of Yanagani, Japan, divers discovered a vast underwater structure, staircases, terraces, and platforms, carved from stone. It looks like a city. Mainstream science calls it a natural formation. But its symmetry is too perfect, its angles too deliberate. Similar structures have been found off Cuba, in the Caribbean, and near India's Gulf of Compat, entire underwater city grids stretching for miles, with columns, walls, and streets. And guess what? They're estimated to be over 12,000 years old, far older than any known civilization. Could these be remnants of the civilizations that existed before the Great Flood? And if we're only now discovering these after a few thousand years, what remains hidden under the deeper oceans, where we've explored less than 5%? Perhaps the real ruins of Earth's first civilizations rest miles beneath the waves, waiting to be found. Let's talk about technology, the kind that shouldn't exist in ancient times. The Antikythera mechanism, found off the coast of Greece, is a complex analog computer over 2,000 years old, capable of predicting planetary movements. How did ancient Greeks build something like that, centuries before the telescope, before gears were even known? Then there's the Baghdad battery, an artifact that can generate electrical current, thousands of years before electricity was discovered. In Egypt, precise stone cutting, massive monoliths, and perfect alignment with celestial bodies suggest a knowledge of engineering and astronomy that defies the tools of the time. What if these weren't human inventions, but rediscoveries? What if the knowledge was passed down from a forgotten civilization before the last global cataclysm, the one that ended the Ice Age around 12,000 years ago? Because make no mistake, Earth resets itself. Ice ages come and go. Meteor impacts shatter continents. Volcanoes erupt with the power of nuclear bombs. Entire species disappear overnight. There have been at least 5 mass extinctions in Earth's history. If an intelligent civilization existed before humans, any one of those could have wiped them out completely. The Permian extinction, 252 million years ago, destroyed 96% of life on Earth. If a species had built a global civilization before that event, not even a single building would remain. And then millions of years later, new life would evolve. Maybe reptilian. Maybe avian. Maybe us. Now, imagine these ancient civilizations were not human at all. Maybe they were reptilian, descendants of dinosaurs that evolved intelligence before extinction. Or perhaps aquatic, creatures that built their empires beneath the sea, immune to surface catastrophes. Some believe these beings are remembered as gods, dragons, or even the serpent people of myth. Ancient texts describe them vividly, feathered serpents like Quetzalcoatl. Half fish, half human beings in Babylonian carvings. And the Sumerian Watchers, who descended from the heavens to teach mankind. Could these stories be distorted memories, tales of beings from a forgotten pre-human age? And then there's Antarctica. The frozen continent at the bottom of the world. Beneath 2 miles of ice, satellite scans have detected geometric formations, rectangular and symmetrical. Some claim they're natural. Others whisper they're the ruins of a lost city. During World War II, Nazi expeditions to Antarctica sparked theories that they were searching for ancient technology buried under the ice. And in 1960, the discovery of Lake Vostok, a massive freshwater lake sealed beneath 13,000 feet of ice, raised more questions. Scientists found microorganisms thriving in complete isolation for millions of years. What else might be down there? Perfectly preserved relics of an age when Antarctica was green, lush, and teeming with life. Could it have been the final home of an advanced civilization before the Earth's poles shifted and froze them in place? Let's look inward, into ourselves. Human DNA tells a strange story. Around 200,000 years ago, something happened. A sudden leap in intelligence, language, and creativity. Scientists call it the Great Leap Forward. But why? No fossil record shows a gradual transition. It's as if something, or someone, altered our genetic path. Some theories suggest an external intervention, perhaps the same beings remembered as gods in ancient myths, accelerating evolution, turning primitive hominids into Homo sapiens. Could humanity itself be a legacy, the final experiment of a dying civilization that came before? Now, stretch your imagination even further. What if these civilizations weren't just of Earth, but from Earth, and later went beyond it? What if their technology allowed them to leave before catastrophe struck? If they mastered energy, gravity, and resonance, they might have become spacefaring long before us. Maybe they colonized other planets, moons, or even other dimensions, and were their descendants, rediscovering what they once knew. Maybe the real story of Earth isn't about human triumph, but cosmic memory, of lives lived, knowledge lost, and civilizations turned to dust beneath our feet. We may never uncover their names, their faces, or their voices. But perhaps they look through us, through our art, our technology, our desire to reach beyond the stars, because that desire is ancient. It didn't begin with us. It's inherited. And as long as we keep searching, wondering, and daring to ask, what came before us, we keep their memory alive. Because in the endless rhythm of creation and destruction, maybe consciousness never truly dies. It just changes form, waits for the next world, the next mind, the next dawn. And maybe, somewhere deep beneath our feet, buried in the bones of the earth, the first civilization still sleeps, waiting for us to remember.